Beauty by Brandy. I am Brandy, and welcome to another edition of your midweek wake up. Today, I swear I am not showering before all of these videos. This will not be a constant thing with my hair up in a towel. I apologize. And we're not always going to be doing photo shoot looks, because today we're getting ready for a photo shoot. However, the difference between this video and the last video, today I am the model. So this is a look that I am going to wear for a photo shoot that I am doing a little bit later today. So feel free to follow along and join me. So guys, as I mentioned in my previous video, I don't do a lot of skincare before my makeup just because if I'm going to use a primer, primer is another form of skincare. And where my face is oily combination, I try not to load up on a ton of moisture and then put even more skincare on and then my foundation and concealers, because then they have a tendency to slide all over my face. So I do a very light skincare, a little bit of moisture, always an eye cream, and then I go in with my primer and then so on and so forth with the rest of my makeup routine. So that is what we're going to start with today. So as I said, sorry, this does not taste very good. I made the mistake of talking one day while spraying it on. Don't recommend. 10 out of 10 would not recommend to eat the 4th Grade Beauty Mellow Milk. But I promise I won't always be doing photo shoots. I will say though, I do work with several local photographers. I have one that I work with, I guess you could say, on a near weekly, if not every other week basis. Her name is Ashley. She's out of Lexington, Kentucky. For those who don't know, I am from Kentucky. And she owns her own photography business, Moments Entwined Photography. She is amazing. But I do a lot of just random photo shoots. The one that I'm doing today, we didn't really schedule, we just happened to be talking yesterday. And she was like, hey, I have this thing, do you want to come use it? And I was like, yeah, sure. If she allows me and gives me some sneak peeks, I will try to put them at the end of this video so you can see the full look together with the outfits and everything that I have planned. If not, just know that it will come at a later date. But today's look is going to be very full coverage. I won't say full glam. I'm not planning on doing glitter and uber dramatics today, but we shall see where we go. Oh, we are just, sorry I sound tired. My child decided to wake me up super early this morning. And then I believe I ate something that didn't agree with me very well last night because I cannot sleep. My stomach drove me batty. So by the time I got to sleep, well, I feel like by the time I got to sleep, my child woke me up. She is 1, and pretty much once she's up, she is up. But anyway, got my child up. Well, my child got me up. Fixed her some breakfast, which used to be oatmeal with fruit baby food mixed in, but apparently there is a huge nasty recall on baby food. And since that's really the only time I feed my child baby food, I figured it's just time to just go ahead and just take her completely off of it. So today we just did oatmeal, a little bit of almond milk, and some chopped up blueberries. She had no complaints. She ate every single bite, and it's probably the fastest she's eaten in a while. Today we're going in with the Clinique Beyond Perfecting. It's foundation and concealer. It's pretty full coverage. hypoallergenic, fragrance-free. I haven't decided if I want to go in with a full coverage yet. Just because I am still going in with concealer. Like for contouring, and then an actual lighter concealer. So we're just gonna schlep this on and see what else we need. We might end up going back in. I do like the doe foot applicator, but then again, I do prefer a pump. I feel like I don't use as much. We'll see. This is also in the shade 6.75 Sesame. I do know that Clinique has gone in with renumbering their foundations, I believe, because this also used to be the WN38 Sesame, and now it's the 6.75. So it's a bit yellowy. Does cancel out my red tone, so that's nice. Make sure I get my ears. Just because whenever I'm outside, or if I'm in the tanning bed, I actually wear my headphones, and I have the over-the-ear style headphones. I like the music that plays at the gym. Not always my taste, but I can withstand that. I just don't like the music that they play in the tanning bed. Like I said in my last video, don't come for me. I know it's not great for the skin. It is not something I do all the time. I just like a little bit of color. But I'm gonna blend this out. Let me know what you all want to see. I think that's something I forgot to mention in my last video. I might have put it in the description box. But comment down below and tell me what you want to see. Do you want to see day in my life videos? I don't live an eventful life. I am on a weight loss journey right now. I don't have a specific goal in mind, which might irritate some people. I don't have a specific goal in mind, but I am getting married next year. Next fall. We're aiming for Halloween. We'll see if that happens or not. But we're aiming for Halloween, so I would just like to look nice on my wedding day. Losing weight in the process, that's great, but I want to look really nice in my wedding dress that I haven't picked out yet. Also, is that something else you all want to see? The wedding planning process. We're doing a destination wedding, my fiance and I. His name is Derek. We're doing a destination wedding. So do you want to see that process? Because I don't mind doing additional uploads, maybe non-makeup videos we can do on, what, Saturdays or something like that? Let me know below. I do have some things in mind creatively. Sorry, I'm just looking at the coverage. It's actually pretty good coverage. I have discoloration on my upper lip and like right here in the dead center of my forehead. But in the summertime it's more prominent. I actually legitimately have to go in and color correct during the summertime just because it gets so dark. And surprisingly it doesn't when I'm in the tanning bed, so that's also another weird thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm photosynthesizing. Blah. I can't talk. Who knows? God, I need to stop saying But for some reason in the tanning bed I don't have the issue that I have during the summertime where it gets super dark. I literally have to always go in with either an orangey yellow or a salmon shade to color correct before I go in with any kind of foundation or anything. I'm trying to remember, does it even matter? I've washed these brushes since I filmed that video, so they're nice and perfectly clean, but I can't remember which one's which. I think I used, this is what I use for concealer. Does it really matter? No, but for me it does, so yeah. So like I said, we're going to be slightly more dramatic. So we are going to go in with cream contouring and concealing. And then we're also going to be going in, when it comes to the contouring, we're going to go in with an actual contour powder and a bronzer. So like I said, it's going to be full coverage today. I just don't know if we're doing full glam, because full glam is not my goal, but like I said, we'll see what happens. I say something's not my goal, and then by the time I'm done, I'm like, well, that escalated quickly. But I do have several ideas in mind. They're written down. I just want to see what everybody else would like to see first before I start doing my own thing. I read a lot. Do you want to see book reviews? Literally, I will post reviews. Technically, I can use this as a review, because I have never used the Clinique Beyond Perfecting foundation. So we'll see how that works. I like the coverage. It's very... I will say this. If you have dry skin, I might not recommend this. This set down very, very matte, and that is without setting powder, without anything else. It was a very matte look. It does transfer, but like I said, I haven't set it yet, so we'll see how that works. Trying not to knock all of my stuff off. Going to go in with the MAC 130. I love this brush. It's a duo fiber brush. So it's part synthetic. I believe it's part synthetic and part real hair. So it gives you that airbrushed finish. However, I will say this. I love it when blending out my contour. I've even used this to blend out my regular concealer, like my under eye concealer. I do not like this for foundation. I actually bought this like, goodness, like almost 10 years ago, give or take a year, maybe less, 10 years at the max. I still follow, but was following Carly Bible. I swear I can talk. I was following Carly Bible on YouTube, and I saw that she went from like the standard foundation brush that's really dense and you kind of shellac it on, to she would put her foundation on and then blend it out with this. And Carly Bible to me was life when I found her on YouTube. She's still life. I love her to death. She's beautiful, gorgeous. I love her makeup looks, and I'm absolutely thrilled right now that she is expecting a baby. And I talk like I know her personally. Derek calls all of my favorite YouTubers my friends. Your friend is loud. What is your friend talking about? What did your friend just say? That's usually the conversation when I'm watching YouTube. But she was using this brush, but she was using the official MAC brush with the black handle. This, at the time when I ordered it, I think I got this off eBay, and it was a special edition from like a holiday collection from like a year or so prior. Long, love it. So, and I'll have that linked below as well. But it won't be the special edition. I believe it's just the standard MAC 130S foundation brush, which is sold at Macy's, and I think you can get it from MAC's website as well. So we're going to go back in with the same concealer palette, different set of brushes. I'm going to go in with the lightest shade and highlight under my eyes. If you didn't watch the last video, I don't do the triangle where they go in under the eyes and then do the triangle down towards the cheek. If you look from the way that I do it versus like that particular way, that draws the eye down, making the cheek, yes, look a little higher because it's bringing light up, but what it's also doing is it's bringing your eye down and making your eye look wider but droopier. So definitely not making it wider in like a cute way. If you want to make your eyes look wider, just go in with like a nude or a white eyeliner on your waterline. But I just go down my nose to help with the contouring. I go probably about to mid-eye. I do make a little triangle. And then I go from about, I think at last video I said middle of the eye up. It's not even really the middle, but I go up like this. Almost like I'm trying to make a wing for my eyeliner. Go up like this, and what that does is that brings the light up, making your eye look more almond or cat-shaped. Sorry, my dog is barking. So we're just gonna go in like this. Kind of thought about getting colored contacts and doing like an eye color series. My eyes are bluish green. I can get purple contacts, bright blue, brown, hazel, green. Thought about it, and actually showing people like how to dress up their eyes to match their eye color. I believe I linked this palette. I actually found it on Amazon. And I know some people are like, no, don't buy products from Amazon. I don't use this palette on anybody but myself. I've never had a skin reaction to it. I bought it from Amazon. It's very inexpensive. And the pans are really good for the size. And they last forever. I also love how thick it is, because a little bit goes a long way on a light coverage day, or you can just really load it up for those full coverage days like we're doing today. I'm watching for the time. My daughter is due for lunch soon. She is currently taking a nap, so I'm keeping my eye on that so I can feed her. Wake her up and feed her. Okay guys, sorry. I came back all spooky like. Did not realize my SIM card had filled up. Or my SD card, not SIM card. My SD card had filled up, so I had to go grab another one because didn't want to delete any footage off the previous one that I was using. So what I did was I went in with my no, this one doesn't have a name. Went in with my Juvia's Place powder brush, and I went in with the RCMA No Color powder under my eyes, basically anywhere that I hit with concealer. Because usually when I'm getting ready for work, My hair is down. So I have my bangs down, so I put a little bit of foundation on my forehead just to be on the safe side, just for blending purposes. But I don't do any contouring. I just do some foundation and some powder. As I said in my last video, my brows are horrendous. So I am just going in, and apparently at this point just haphazardly making some sort of shape with them. I'm going to see if my hairstylist Sarah can get my brows together for me the next time I go see her for another haircut. Because I need something done with these brows. I mean, they're not bushy, but unfortunately, unlike people who have the bushier brows, my brows don't grow in any sort of shape. They just they're like bushes. They literally grow hair everywhere. But they're still sparse. Pluck one wrong hair, and I have a bald spot for months. So, I don't do my own eyebrows. I can do anybody else's. But I somehow have missed some sort of genetic gene pool lottery or something along those lines of I am incapable of grooming. I can draw my eyebrows on if they cooperate. I am incapable of grooming my own eyebrows. Because like I said, they are so sparse in places that if I pluck one wrong hair, I will literally have a bald spot for months until that random hair just grows back. If it even chooses to grow back. Usually I have to wait for another hair or something to come in, and then I just kind of trim it and groom it, and that's about it. Comb that through just to help lighten it and feather it so it doesn't look as stark for some reason. I don't know if it's just the way I've got my ring light focused on me, but they look really dark. They're not that dark. I promise, they are not that dark. They're not that dark. Contemplating if I want to set my brows or not. I think I'm going to wait to set my brows until after I do all of my powder. I'm going to wait to set my brows, wait to do my mascara and lashes. Just because my lighting changed. It looked really bright there for a second and then it didn't. Okay, my camera is doing weird things. Hopefully it doesn't cut off again. Yeah, anyway, back to what I was saying. I think I'm going to set my brows and do my mascara and lashes after I do all my powder products. So those will be the last thing I do, and then my lips will be the last thing I do. Not like you all really wanted to know every single bit of that, but hey, it is what it is. So, apparently now I'm going from to so. My life. My life in a nutshell. So, I promise I'll stop saying it when I realize that I'm saying it. I'm going to go in with this Juvia's Place brush. It's very short, dense. You can use it as like a packer brush to pack on like glitters and things like that. I use it because it's nice and domed. It's very firm. I use to put on my eyeshadow primer because then I can just work it really well into the smaller spaces of my eye without overdoing it. and I can get up under my brow to help kind of carve out that shape. And I just kind of dab it all over, and then I'll blend it out. The eye primer that I'm using today is the Anastasia Beverly Hills eye primer. I believe this is the only eye primer that they have. I don't think they're like P. Louise and they have different colors. I believe it's just this, which is not quite a white. It looks more flesh tone when it comes out until you blend it, and then it looks almost like a porcelain on me, which means on anybody darker than me or a person of color, it's going to look white. Which I do recommend be careful if you are a person of color and you're using this, because where it does look skin tone colored for me, and it looks almost, like I said, it looks like a porcelain foundation once I get it smoothed on, I would say on a person of color, it's going to look white, which can make your eye look ashy. So if you do use it, I don't recommend going all the way up under the brow like I am, unless you're going to be doing like a very bright white or neutral eyeshadow under your brow bone for like highlight. But all in all, I do like it as an eyeshadow primer. My eyeshadows don't crease. Stays all day. Of course, the whole look that I'm doing for today is just for a photo shoot that will maybe take me an hour, 2 tops. And I mean tops. But this look will last me probably for my 12-hour work shift. I would say this look would last me about 10 to 12 hours that I'm doing right now with the full bake and everything. Now I will say I'm contemplating, I want to use my usual everyday palette, but I think I'm actually going to go in with the Anastasia Sultry palette. I think. Decisions. Let me just look at it really quick. I have an eyeshadow little rack, 2 little racks over here with some eyeshadows in it. Yeah, I like my other palette better for what I want today. Never thought I'd pick a $6 palette over a Anastasia of Beverly Hills, but here we are today. We are making history in the world of brandy. So I linked this in my last video in the comment box, or in the description box, comment box, listen to me, in the description box, and I believe this is a $6 palette. It's another really well-priced palette, like the Beauty Treats Concealer palette. I really like this palette. Let's see, I'm going to go in with this. Ooh, let me move my whole hand out of the way. This little lighter brown color right here. I'm just going to go in my crease with this. We're going to be using multiple colors today on the eye. Similar color schemes, but we're actually going to have some definition going on. Like I said, I'm just going to go in the crease with this. We're just going to blend that out and blur it. Small circular motions to help blur that out. Alright, set that off to the side. We're gonna grab another one. This one is still kind of fluffy, just not as. If you notice, it's. I'll put this down for a second on my armchair. This one versus this one. I don't know if you can see. Let me put this up closer to the wall where you can see. This one is a little bit more bulbous and fluffy, where this one is a little bit more dense, a little bit more rounded, but a little bit more, it's not as pointed, but it fits better in your crease for even more contouring and definition. So we're going to go back in with this here in just a second, but we're going to take this one and we're going to go into this darker brown color right here, right below the first one that we used. And then actually we might go in with the sultry palette. I don't want a black, but I do want an even darker brown, and this is the darkest brown that's in this palette. And we're going to go just in the crease, but we're not going to go all the way over to the inner corner like we did with the lighter color. Sorry, I didn't mean to use my middle finger. We're just going to work this like if you open your eye, it's literally the tip of the brush is going to fit right into your crease. Just some windshield wiper motions as well as very light circular motions. Because this is quite a bit more pigmented than the first shade, and I want to start light and build up because it's easier to add more color than it is to try to diffuse out and take off color. Go back in with that first shade. We're just gonna diffuse out those edges. Now I go pretty high up onto my brow bone. I don't go all the way up to my brow. Maybe in this area I do, but I don't go all the way up, but I do go pretty high up. And you'll just see me go back and forth. Build it up and then smoke it out. And this is a process. This will take me longer because I'm talking. I'm much faster when I'm not talking to people. But this will take me a little bit just because, like I said, I will go back and forth between the two shades to build up that smokiness that I'm looking for. Because the only black I will be using today on my eyes will be the eyeliner. My child is awake, so we might have a lighting change here in just a second because I will probably have to stop what I'm doing, feed her, and then come back and finish, unless Derek will feed her for me. I'm going to pack on a color, but what I'm going to do first, I'm going to take my e.l.f. Matte Magic Mist and Set setting spray. I'm going to wet my brush, not soak it. Don't soak your brush, because then your eyeshadow palette gets really cakey wherever you stick it. I'm going to go in with the shade that we used last time, this antique gold. There is a gold in this palette. I'm really loving this antique gold shade. We're going to take this from almost to the inner corner, maybe the inner corner. And then we're just going to work this over the lid. And then we're going to bring it probably up until the front third of the eye, because this area of the eye, the outer V, the outer third, we're going to take that smoky brown from the Sultry palette. If you do bring it over a little too far, that is fine. It's not, we're going for a smoky look, not an overly clinical, strategically placed. I want a smoky look today. So I want multiple colors, I want them smoked out. So we're misting the brush again, dipping back into that pan. Then working it onto the eye. And the reason I said I didn't want it all the way in the inner corner at first, which I didn't bring it all the way into the inner corner, is when I put the highlighter on my brow bone that we used last time, I'm also going to put it on my inner corner because it photographs beautifully. I don't recommend doing it daily for everyday wear unless you just want to, because honestly for everyday it's not as visible unless you're just going to be outside a lot, where you're going to actually catch that beautiful natural lighting and it's actually going to do something. If you're going to be in an office, like I sit in an office, my usual job, I won't say my daytime job, this is my daytime, I work in an office and I work third shift. So office lighting is not going to catch that inner corner highlight. So I don't do that on an every time I wear makeup basis. It's honestly a waste. So now, like I said, we're going to be going back and forth continuously with the colors. I'm going to go back in with that medium toned reddish brown, and we're going to a little bit more back in that crease. Hey guys, sorry, I'm back. You'll see I did a costume change, hair change. My battery died, so had to put in a new SD card. Why do I keep saying SIM card? SD card, and the battery died. So I took care of non-videographed stuffs. So I think the last place I left off was I was still blending out my crease. I still haven't put the darker, smokier brown on yet, so we're going to go in with the Anastasia Sultry palette. We're going to go in with Dystopian, which is this dark, where are we going here? This dark smoky brown. We're going to go in with this very firm pencil brush. I have to set that down there. I have to move my bangs. Now some people complain that some of the Anastasia palettes have a lot of fallout. I feel like it does get a bit dusty in the pan. I don't usually have to worry about fallout on my eyes, but when I do notice that a eyeshadow has fallout, sorry, you'll hear my baby in the background, and apparently my dog. Now we're going to take this brown and also put it partially in the crease. And by partially, I mean no farther than this third right here. So we don't want to take away from that darker mid color that we put on. And like I said, I know some people are probably wondering why I'm just dipping one time, then dipping again, and then dipping again each time and blending. It's easier to put more color on than it is to try to blend it out and take color off. We're going to go back in with that bigger fluffy brush. And take that very first shade that we had, and then like before, just blend out those edges. Got all my makeup stacked up here so I can get to it. Squeaky chair. Contemplating getting another chair for my office area, getting rid of this one. Because I am currently sitting on my child's boppy that she doesn't really use anymore. Just so I can be sitting up. With that very first shade. Set. Sorry, the baby's getting into stuff. Just gonna take Juvia's Place and blend out that RCMA powder. And actually, I think I've baked a little too long, so we probably need to blend out that bake first. So we're just going to blend out all of that excess bake before we finish setting everything. I always extra set the sides of my nose right here. This is where I get the oiliest in my T-zone area, not just on my bridge. Alright, so next we're going to go in with the Hoola Soft Matte Bronzing Powder. This is cool toned enough for me that I actually use it for my contour. So I'm going to take this Juvia's Place brush. This is the JP Highlighter Brush 01. What I like about it is, if you notice, I can get right under my cheekbones. And where it has that softer bristle and looser, what's the word I'm looking for? The looser assembly of the bristles, it just flicks the powder a little bit more so it doesn't pack it on and make it too dark. Hi. You coming to help mommy? Hi. Nom nom nom. Now I'm going to take that eyeshadow brush that we first used to put that first crease color down for blending purposes, because it's got such a nice point on it. I'm going to use this with the bronzer powder because they're not, the eyeshadow and this aren't too far apart in color. I'm going to go over where we cream contoured our nose. Well, I cream contoured my nose. Next, we are going to go in with this Femme Couture Get Contoured palette. I do not know if you can still get this. I got this at Sally Beauty Supply, and it's been a little bit. I don't think this was ever something that was regular. I think this was actually just a holiday palette, so I will try to find it, or at least find something comparable to it. But we're going to go in with this medium contour. Right here, this warmer shade. For me, it's a little, I feel like it's a little too warm to be a contour. I just use it with this fluffy brush, and I use it for bronzing. And it looks like I'm using a lot, but I'm tapping it off. So if you see that little flutter of dust, that is just where I'm tapping off the excess. I'm going just above and right over where I contoured to give that sun-kissed, flushed look. Which we'll have that blush here in a minute, so we'll actually have a slightly flushed look. We're going to go back in with our 26 pan palette. We're going to go in with this lightest shade right here, because as light as it is, it actually packs on quite a bit of color. Or I just load it up, who knows. Mama doing makeup? I'm gonna go ahead and do my brow gel. Told you, I don't know what order I'm going in. If I'm not powdering anything else on my forehead, I don't wanna do my brow highlight and then go in with brow gel and take off my brow highlight by accident. So we're just gonna set the brow hairs in place. This is the Essence. Yeah. This is the Essence Lash and Brow Gel Mascara. Callie is just letting everybody know to like and subscribe. What Little Nugget says is what everybody should do. But like and subscribe, and like I said a couple times during this video already so far, just let me know what you want to see down below. I'm open to ideas. So while that dries really quick, we're going to go in with the Tribe Highlighter Volume 3 by Juvia's Place. Hi. Today I do want a blinding highlight. Alright. Now we're going to highlight our inner corner. Like I said, we're just going to take our highlighting palette. We're just going to go right in here. And blend it into that antique gold on the eyelid. And then just barely under, literally right under the tear duct of the lower lash line. Same on the other eye. Trying not to make the infamous mascara face. Because, you know, not cute. Now, we're going to take our dense pencil brush and we're going to go in with that medium shade that we put in our crease. And put that on our outer corner of our lash line, lower lash line. And then blend it over to where we highlighted. Not making the mascara face is extremely hard. Then we're gonna go back in with our fluffy brush and take the very first lightest shade that we put in our crease. And we're gonna blend right below that medium color. Here comes the fun part. We're going to take the Maybelline Eye Studio in Blackest Black. Mine is starting to dry out some, so I am going to take some of this Inglot Duraline and put a couple drops in to re-wet it, but also with the Duraline that I like is it also, I believe, increases the longevity. Makes it also waterproof, so yeah, it definitely increases the longevity. So swirl that around in there. Now I will say I got my Duraline off Amazon, I believe, for $15. I know somebody somewhere is going to be like, oh, that's so much money. Honestly, for the longevity of your eyeliner, and I mean, it makes it nearly waterproof. And I only say nearly because I can actually still get it off when I go to double cleanse at the end of the day. Now, what I like to use, my cap always stays dirty and grody looking because I like to take my eyeliner brush. I don't know if you can see it. I keep looking for the wall so you can see it. I try to get it as thin as possible. So I dip it in, coat it, and then I tap each side into the cap to help get it as thin as possible so I can get the most precise line. I'm just going to bring that out into a little wing. I don't want a big wing. And then connect it. I don't want a big wing because, like I said, I do want this. I wanted the color smoky, but when I put lashes on, I want it to still have that lifted look. Now, I'm not going to go all the way over into my inner corner. Let's see. Makes it much easier when I can look down and see what I'm doing. The only reason I'm going a bit thicker than just a thin line is due to the fact that my lashes have a somewhat thick band. Not super thick. So we're going to go back into the liner, load up our brush again. Like I said, we're just going to press it. I'm not even taking off. It does take off some of the excess, but I'm not meaning to take off excess. I'm literally just pressing it down to get that. So, like I said, nice thin line. Sometimes I can do an eye in this mirror. Sometimes I have to grab the second mirror to look down. Those wings are not perfect, but it's okay. We're about to put some lashes on, so it won't matter. So now we're going to go in and do the lashes. These are the House of Lashes in the Iconic. I've used them a few times. They've probably got a couple more uses left before I legitimately have to get rid of them. I've cleaned them a few times. But they're literally at their point where they legitimately probably need to be tossed in about 1 or 2 uses. Like, this might be the last time I use these. I'm gonna go in with the lashes. My favorite glue that I love to use is the Duo brush on adhesive. It's this one right here. You can get it at Sally's. I believe you can get it at any drugstore, Kroger, sorry, retesting, Kroger, Target, any place that sells lashes, Ulta. I like this one because unlike some of the other formulas, you don't have to let this one sit and meld and dry. I'm going to because I still need to curl my lashes and put a coat of mascara on. And this is how chaotic it gets when I get to my eyes. I'm gonna take the lash curler, pump it up a couple times, go in with my mascara. Like I said, I can't link this below because I don't know the actual brand name. They just send it in a generic black tube. But let me tell you, if I ever see this brush on the market with any brand, I will let you know immediately what it is. And we're not looking for a precise coat of mascara on the top lashes, just so everybody knows. We're just wanting to coat said lashes. Now this I got in a handy dandy little makeup kit. These are lash tweezers, specifically for lashes, hence the way they're curved. Just grab your lashes with them like that. It's a little bit safer for your eyes than going at your eyes with some tweezers. And then they help to just pop them on. And the trick with lashes is you want to get it as close to your natural lashes as possible without actually getting glue in your lashes if you can avoid it. Like I said, this is a really thick band, so it takes me a second to work with them. That is my only thing that I don't like about this lash. I love the full and fluffiness of it, but it's got such a thick band that it's kind of hard to work with. I'm gonna just push up a little bit, and we'll go back in with the lash curler in just a second because my lashes, they curve like literally, it's literally like having straight hair and then you have just a little bend on the ends. That's what my natural lashes are like. They're straight, they have just a little bend on the very tip. This is the Ultra Matte Lip in Times Square. Now, I know in the last video I said my thing was nudes. With this look, I didn't want to do like a pale nude lip. So we're going to do a pinky nude. And I'm not going in with lip liner first because I'm going to do a contouring effect. So I'm going to do my lip liner over my lip color. I haven't used this color yet, but ooh. Ugh, I got so much dry skin on my lip. This is definitely, I would definitely call this color for me particularly my lips but better. It definitely makes my lips look more even and smooth. I've never actually worn ColourPop liquid lipsticks before, but this actually feels, if I press my lips together hard enough, they do kind of stick together, but the formula itself feels really creamy. It's drying down. There's a little bit of transfer, but like I said, it's still drying down, but it still feels comfortable. I've worn some liquid lipsticks where when they dried down, it was just like I could just feel the moisture just being sucked out of my lips, and I felt like I had like cement or something on my lips, and it was gross, and I didn't like it. I will say it does dry down. I'll probably say about 2 shades darker. I would say it dries down to about 1 to 2 shades darker than what is in the bottle. Now, I will say that I don't have any foundation or anything to block out the color of my lips, so that might have something to do with it. But it did dry down a little bit darker. Ugh, my nose is running all of a sudden. The Essence Soft Contouring Lip Liner, and this is in the shade Sucker for Gray. It's a cool name, but I mean, if you look at that, that is not a gray. If anything, it's like a muted mauve. Now this is where the contouring comes in, because this is a little bit darker than the lip color. But I didn't want a heavy contouring effect. Alright, and there we have it, and that is today's photo shoot look. As I said in the last video, everything will be linked in the description box below with links where you can get the products themselves. But this is the look. As I said, I will hopefully have some photos to put at the end of the clip here in just a second. And as always, this is your midweek wake up. Have a great day. Like and subscribe while you're at it.